was interested in how they made movies, how they make films, and I thought owning a piece of it would be great because you've never really seen anything like this, and it's actually the film, part of the film, and it's a work of art. My tastes really vary widely. I go anywhere from horror and sci-fi, which is really the main thing I like, to an old-fashioned movie, or a classic film. I have things from the Ten Commandments, a pair of Charlton Heston's tablets. I buy what I like, and I try to save things that I don't want to be lost or destroyed. Just about everybody will recognize this as a Terminator endoskull from Terminator 2. I got this about 2 or 3 years ago, actually from Profiles in History, because they had Stan Winston's estate, and they had things that you're never going to see again. This is one of them. There was only one created. It was used in a scene. They made this just for one scene where Arnold gets killed, or you thought he gets killed the very first time, by Robert Patrick. His eye and the iris here lights up, and then it opens and closes to signal that he's turning back on and rebooting his system. The detail in this is amazing. This had more flesh on it in the film, and obviously it was saved very well, but this is the flesh that is left, and I screen match certain areas here. Well, this little guy, I don't think he needs any explanation because we all know who he is. It's Gizmo from Gremlins. Actually, he was in Gremlins 2, made by Rick Baker, who won an Academy Award actually for his work in a different film. And he made the Gizmos and all the Gremlins. This puppet is actually a robot. He's actually animatronic. He weighs probably 7 pounds. This puppet's face is modular and it pops off. So whenever Gizmo had to make a different expression, he would do something like, there's a little face here that he has an uh-oh expression. And then over here is this Gizmo sad. And then here is the one if he was in pain. That kind of looks like, reminds me of Edward G. Robinson. He's in unbelievable condition. I got this in a private sale, and Rick Baker really took care of his items. You can see he put the faces in boxes, and they were stored for over 20 years. They actually screen matched him in a couple of scenes when Zach Galligan actually, one scene picks him up from the back. You can see the fur pattern right here, actually. Screen matching is one of the tools that I use to authenticate props when I purchase something or if somebody asks me for advice. What I did with this Slamfist puppet from Small Soldiers, I knew it was real. It came directly from Stan Winston, so I had no question about it, but I was trying to see, where can I see what scene this was used in? And I noticed the puppet was used for probably 90% of the scenes in the film, because in his leg behind the rock here, there's a paint line that matched with the photograph that I took. As a horror movie fan, I found this interesting prop privately, and it's kind of in pieces, so as you put it together, you'll be able to know who he is. This is Jester from Puppet Master. It was used in Puppet Master 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Because it was a low-budget movie, they only made one expression of each of his faces. Pretty cool, and from what I'm told, it's the only one that was created for the films. This is Johnny Five from Short Circuit Part 2. It was made by Eric Allard, who made all of the Johnny Fives for the first and second films, including the large ones. They made about 5 of these. This one is one of the ones that was used and actually survived. Eric saved this one because a lot of them broke on set. They were very fragile. They would charge one, film for a few hours, charge again. This one is still operational. You just have to recharge the batteries, and I was told by Eric that he could do that. I started my website as a resource for collectors and to help people about collecting movie props and costumes and art and how to get information. I learned my lesson pretty early on. I went to buy something on eBay, and I didn't ask a lot of questions, and I didn't email anyone or call anybody from the production, and I didn't try to screen match it with the video grab, and it wasn't what they said it was. It was probably worth the few hundred I paid, but it was not from the film. Everyone's usually into something, you could be into video games or stamps or coins, or this is movie props, so usually it's kind of a universal thing because everybody, I know Gizmo, that's Gizmo, you don't have to explain it. So to me, the best prop is something you don't have to explain. And people think like, what do you want? There's got to be something more into it. It's like, no, it's just cool. It's simple, it's just cool. My name is Jim Manning, and I really love movie props.